Hey, Wealth Warriors, are you ready to redefine wealth and master your money mindset? Welcome to Women of Wealth. I'm your Gen X host, Holly Woods Gray.
And I'm your millennial host, Ali Ramo. Today on our show, we're joined with June Lemmings, the powerhouse behind June's team with Keller Williams Realty. June is an award-winning real estate broker, team leader, and community advocate based in Greeley, Colorado. She's built one of the region's top performing real estate teams through a people first philosophy, a passion for mentorship, and an unshakable commitment to helping families build generational wealth through homeownership.
June was recently honored with the Best of Greeley, Colorado Award, an incredible recognition of her leadership, service, and impact in her community. She's a woman who leads with heart, hustle, and purpose.
So we're excited to dive into your story, June. I have never had a conversation with you. You and Holly know each other quite well, but I'm excited to get to know you and how you built your team, how you empower your team. So why don't you just start off by kind of sharing a little bit about your journey?
Okay. So how far back do you want me to go? Because I've been in real estate 23 years.
Well, let's start a little bit at the beginning, kind of what your why behind it all, and then how you've gotten to where you are now.
Okay. So why I even got into real estate is I lived out of state and worked for America Online when the internet started and had to restart my life. And I didn't know what was going to happen, but I moved back to Greeley and called in the paper. It said, why rent when you can own? And it was a real estate investor. And I had to start over and do a short sale on my own first home. And he was like, you need to come work for me. He made a house payment on a vacant property. I learned real estate from the backside in. So all about investment properties, making wealth through real estate. And he started calling me at 4 a.m, like, let's make money, money, money. And I was like, I think I can help a lot of people make money. And little did I know what it would turn into today. So I'm very, very passionate about real estate. And one is because I was a foster kid. Two was just having to rebuild my whole life and rebuild my credit and stuff and start helping and understanding how real estate makes such a difference in everyone's life and their family legacy and wealth.
Yeah, that's so interesting. June and I have been in this mastermind together for the last couple of years. And what's really interesting about most of the women, including June and myself, we both come from very humble beginnings. And it's just interesting to see the dynamic of so many women that had their struggles, whether that was with their family, with their first husbands, with their, life before they became super successful, and just that ability to really work hard, push through, and, go above and beyond. And so one of the things that I most admire about you, June, is the winning culture that you've created within your organization. So can you talk a little bit about that community-focused approach and your strong leadership that comes with building the culture of excellence that you've built with your team?
Yeah, so the culture has really became like being a lifetime because part of the community, Greeley is so community oriented. Like, so for small business owners, everyone supports you if you're local and really try to help you be successful. But I learned I sold my first house and then I was like, oh crap, what am I going to do? I'm a single mom. I have no money. And then I got the first call and it was a referral and she referred her coworker and I'm like, ding, ding. I need to just really work on and really nurture relationships. And so 86% of the business I have actually comes from my past clients. And I would rather spend money on them, like I do client events, I do all kinds of stuff, than spend money on like different internet sites to pay for leads. I'd rather work with people I know, like, trust, and they have the same feeling towards me. So that part, just with clients and stuff, it's came from there, like being a lifetime realtor to then I started a team because I've grown a lot and sell quite a few homes. And I really wanted to provide 5-star service. I feel like for me personally, being a solo agent, if you're a busy realtor, it's a lot harder because you almost have to be available 24 hours a day. And you're working around everybody else's schedule. There's a lot of paperwork. If I'm out showing houses to one person, how am I providing great service to somebody else working on their paperwork? Because 95% of what we do is back end the clients don't even see, So I started building a team and the culture that we have is I'm very green and growing. I do not like being ripe and rotten. I feel like if I can constantly grow, that drives me. And I know, Holly, you're like that as well. And I would be bored if I wasn't growing, right? And then I also feel like it's very positive culture. There's a lot of negative things in the world there, especially right now. And if you do that, it's almost like being a turtle and going to put our head in the sand. My saying is be like a horse with blinders and let's focus on positive, what we can do to affect the world in a positive way. You know, anywhere from paying for a drink for the person behind you, just doing things positive every day. And even for yourself, like that morning routine, just to start out right. So I think that being hard workers and the golden rule. So my maiden name was Rule, and it's like treat others as you want to be treated. And I feel like if you do that, then it kind of breeds off to other people. Like they see that and they want to help you too. And that's how I've been so successful.
Well, I think it's really important to create a culture that, that aligns with your business. And we have other business owners who are listening to the podcast and maybe wanting to grow their teams as well. So do you have any insight on how you create just the foundation of that culture? Is it a conversation you have before they even join your team? Is it conversations you have weekly with your team? Talk to us
It's
about
a
that.
ball. And when you first start out and you hire your first assistant, you're like, you don't even know what you don't know, right? And it's like the more you do it, and just like with my team, I tell them, if you can read a book and somebody takes 20 years of their life to help show you those lessons, that can help you avoid a lot of mistakes, right? And also you're failing forward because that first assistant kind of is like a do all, catch all, do everything for you. And then you start splitting it up to different positions. I think it's really like what I've learned is don't just hire people that you know, because that can put you in a pickle. And I do think it's important to actually have certain expectations up front. And sometimes for women, we can be considered being direct, and business entrepreneurs a lot of times. Have you, Allie, do you know anything about the DISC profile when you're testing?
Oh, that's your personality traits, right? A little bit.
Okay. So I've learned different things to do, and it's not 100%, right? But if you can ask certain questions and you can definitely always check their references, definitely let them know up front your expectations. And then I do a 90-day trial period to see if they like it, if they feel like they're a good fit. And for me, if I feel like they're a good fit as well.
Nice. That's awesome. So you were awarded Best of Greeley, Colorado. Congratulations.
Yeah.
What does that mean for you personally and professionally?
For me personally, it means that I'm making a difference in my community and that I'm providing value, giving back to them because they've done so much. Like if it wasn't for the community, I would not be where I'm at. So I'm pretty proud, but I also want to do more for the community too. And for my team, what's really cool is my team won the best real estate office. And this is kind of ongoing for the last 6 years. We've won 6 years in a row. So for the team did get second place one time, but I just feel like when you have a tiny team versus big brokerages, I think that's pretty cool when people, vote for you.
That is very cool. And it's good that you recognize that.
But it has helped with exposure for marketing, and it does mean something, especially when, with all the marketing searches online and things like that, it does help with the rankings.
So were you actively involved in your community? And if you are, in what ways? Are you going to fairs? Are you advertising at places? What does that look like?
Tell us about the chili cook-off.
Okay. So I do quarterly events myself for my clients and for the community, like for my VIPs, which are business partners. So I do one every quarter. In addition, I do happy hours every month that I don't have the quarterlies. And so what Holly's asking about is, like, we just did our fall festival and we did it at a pumpkin patch. We had everything from a horse and carriage ride. We've done hay rides. They get to go pick their pumpkin. My son does their family picture for the holidays. He's a professional photographer. And so my husband he always cooks for our big parties. He's amazing. He made, I think it was like 8 different flavors of chili, from vegetarian to like spicy chili, all kinds. And it was really cool. There was one of our business partners, a cable, like optic, fiber optic provider, sponsored Chef Jared. And he was talking to all the ladies because they want to know what you add and everything. So just that relationship, and it's so different versus like a lot of things right now. Don't you feel like, Allie, like a lot of people are surface level, like, how are you doing? They're like, great, but it's like, how are you really doing?
Yeah.
And
Of course.
Yeah.
Did he use any truffles for his chili? I'm just curious.
Was what?
Did he use any white truffles for any of his chilies?
He has in the past. This time he did not. He goes way above him. It's just crazy, some of the chili that he makes. But for like our summer barbecue, because my name's June, we do June's Team Barbecue in June, right? And my brother from Missouri came, and they just had cook-offs all weekend. We have a huge smoker, did brisket, pulled pork, chicken, and of course we have to have the vegetarian options just to make sure nobody's left out.
Especially in Colorado, right?
Yes. And then we did that one at like a beer garden. And then on the other side, it had like go-karts and things. And we gave them like a discount off of going to ride the go-karts. So that one was a lot of fun. In the winter, we do like a parents or adults only kind of party. And we change our theme every year. This year, it was the 80s theme, but we've done everything. Like when it turned into 2020, we did it right before the breakout with COVID, and it was a 2020 party. It was so cool. We've done adult prom, and you would not believe some of the people that didn't go to the prom or didn't have fun, how excited they were about having an adult prom.
That's cool.
Oh,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome.
If you were just starting out and, maybe budget is smaller, what would you do to, what kind of community events would you be a part of?
Okay. So it depends on, like, your chamber is a good source, but it depends on your local chamber and how they promote businesses and stuff. Sometimes, like, I find out being in real estate with a big chamber, a lot of times there's a gazillion realtors. So that hasn't really helped, but there's a small chamber that's done a lot to promote us, but I'm also a sponsor. I also have a photo booth. We do things to help them out a lot. So they'll share stuff online and stuff. So chamber's a big one. I also feel like I love hanging out with women like Holly, like powerhouse women that are business owners. And so we have like Northern Colorado Women in Business has been my favorite. And there's about 70 women that go, and it changes each month, but I've really gotten to know the community. And we've also done a lot of charity events together. So there's always opportunities, and there's ladies that run charities to sell people, business development is what we call them. But some of my best friends, I've actually became best friends by being in this group where we went and done charity stuff, or walking Relay for Life, or painting, or doing Habitat for Humanity. It's just evolved. It's evolved to the point, Allie, I'm now an empty nester. And when my kids were, as a single mom, and when my kids were in sports and stuff, they both were a grade apart. It was nuts. And I'm like, I can't wait for it to slow down, but it's never really slowed down.
I think that's how it works.
Yeah. And I do so many events. Like Saturday night, I went to Loveland's Lifestyle Magazine. It was a black and white party. So I'm I really believe in really giving back to your community and being a part of it. And some of it is just buying a table at a charity event and then inviting VIPs. So it's like 2 for 1. One, I'm giving back to a community, but also I get to hang out with my VIPs.
Yeah, that's really cool. So you've empowered so many families through home ownership. How do you see real estate as a path to wealth creation, and especially for women who are looking to build financial independence?
So first, you need to buy your first home. And one of the things, like when my kids, we went to a really nice house, and Holly, how humble my beginnings were, and they're like, this house is so nice. These people must be really wealthy. And I'm like, That doesn't mean that. It means that this could be their fifth or sixth home. You have to start somewhere. And I think a lot of times people are like, oh, I can rent for cheaper or this or that, or they have lots of reasons why they wouldn't buy. And too many people are living paycheck to paycheck. What I feel like you buy your first place, let's say it's 400,000 and it only goes up 5%, that's 20,000 of forced savings in 1 year. And that keeps multiplying. So then your second home, maybe you have 100,000 from your first home. So, and there's tax breaks, there's so many different ways. But even now, what I'm trying to do, because the cost of living's got more expensive, for some of my first time home buyers, I'll help them buy like an up and down duplex where they can rent out the second unit that will help offset the cost. I also think rentals are a great source. I have a 38-year-old that they don't even have a house payment now because they started with me 8 houses ago. So anything from what's your pain level and what, like lots of people don't want to put a lot of work into a house, right? And have the money and they might not have the skills. I have a single gal, well, she's not single anymore, she's engaged, but she's bought one property with me 3 years in a row. So now she's in her early 30s and has 4 rental properties. So she's been able to own or occupy and then put minimal down, right? And then she gets a better interest rate. She lives there for a year. She rents out rooms to like furnish finders, like other traveling nurses and stuff. And they've already furnished, like she's furnished all of these and it covers her payment. So there's so many different ways that you can do it. And so I really like to create something with the person that I meet with. So like Holly, if I met with you and it's more rental based and maybe you're more multi-unit, then we're looking at things like DSCR loans that really are about the property and not so much about you. Because we all know business owners like all the tax breaks. So they might not show as much money that they are making, you know, because they're, you know, counting all whatever they can to get a tax break. So this
Right.
DSCR, actually, it's the property and it covers, you know, it's the rent that covers it. So they really look at the property.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's really great.
Yeah, thank you.
And can you let us know what DSCR means?
Yeah, debt service coverage ratio.
Okay.
So, and they use basically the rents and even the potential rents that offset what the payment would be. You still need 20% down, but minimal credit score. So pretty cool program.
That's great. And
Yeah.
how many, so I know that you're based in Colorado, but like with that type of program, can you help people anywhere or is it just someplace?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I
you
have
help
a
people across the
partner,
United
Model
States.
Mortgage, that's in my office that we send a lot of referrals and work back and forth. And I also refer out to other realtors that I know are investment oriented because you just don't want to use just any realtor. Like 2024, 49% of realtors sold 0 homes. 70% only sold 1 to 2 homes. In our local area, like Northern Colorado, we're about an hour north of Denver, Fort Collins, Greeley, Loveland area, and all the small towns. To be in the top 20%, you only really have to sell 12 homes a year.
Wow.
You know, there's more homes than there are, or there's more realtors, sorry, than homes.
More realtors than homes. Oh,
More
wow.
realtors than homes in the United States. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So that's, I mean, I knew that, like, I think, because, you know, everybody seems to have the real estate license. I wish everybody would have their insurance license the way that they all have their real estate license, but that just doesn't happen as much. But so the loan you were talking about, you can also do regular loans pretty much anywhere as well,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So Model Mortgage does conventional FHA, USDA, VA, whatever. They have bank statement loans, I-10 loans. Yeah. And they're
So
partners.
recently they announced this 50-year mortgage, and I saw you do a little post on that. So why don't you talk to our listeners a little bit about that, what you think, and how it could help maybe a first-time home buyer?
Yeah. So like if a payment was the number one thing to a first-time home buyer, I would rather them be able to buy. And as they get raises, obviously they're paying down more in principal. I never want to put somebody in a position where they would get foreclosed on. And I know different people are willing to work a second job or go donate plasma or do whatever, but not everybody. Some people are more balanced than us crazy entrepreneurs, right? So they might not want to do that. So I want to make sure that it's a good product for them. But to me, if they can get in a 30-year fixed, I would rather that. But the 50-year is just if they need certain payments to be able to buy a home, right?
Yeah. And now is that going to be in the first time home buyer program, or is that open to anyone, or how does that
Yeah, it
work?
sounds like, I don't, I haven't studied it a lot yet, but it sounds like it's going to be available to everybody because they're trying to make it more affordable.
Sure.
I mean, on the flip side of that, I mean, there's interest involved for 50 years. So is that in the um, is that benefiting banks more or more than it is the owners?
Yeah,
Or do you think that they'll refinance when they can afford a higher mortgage for maybe a shorter mortgage?
I would hope everyone would refinance, but I also know that people use their house, they refinance it so they have money to go on vacation and things like that. So if somebody's really looking at their wealth long term and really trying to set themselves and their family up, they would refinance when rates are lower, right? And try to stay in at least a 30-year. I've refinanced and went into a 15-year, but I knew I could afford the payments. So you have to make sure you're comfortable with payments. So that part's going to help people. But yeah, the banks, of course, they're probably going to look 50-year mortgages because they can make more money overall.
Well, you talked about balance, and so I want to go into that a little bit with you because single mom and running a business and you're actively involved with your community. How did you manage all of that?
So to be honest, I was not balanced. So if you can learn from me, I think, well, I also had to do what I could to survive because I didn't get child support and stuff like that. So my kids were with me and they learned, like, I got on the phone and this is sad, but they knew, okay, mom's on the phone. So they had to be quiet. They also met a lot of people. They're great salespeople, relationship people now. So they're happy about that. They did get tired of meeting people, but it's really made a difference in their lives now because they can relate, they can talk on the phone like no other, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that part's been good, but balance, I think I found it the more I've been in real estate. For me, I have a hard time, like if, say, Ellie, like the only day you could look at houses on Sunday, then to me, I feel like I need to be available Sunday. But creating a team has allowed me, like I have a licensed showing assistant that can show you on Sunday. If you really love it, then I'm going to negotiate and still get you under contract with it.
Yeah.
So
And I think there's ebbs and flows. And so sometimes you're going to be crushing it in business, but maybe you don't spend enough family time. So I think something is always giving, but it's the overall picture. So
yeah.
I don't know if anyone has a perfect balance across the board.
Yeah, it's always adjusting and stuff, right? And I think what I've done because I had, to be honest, I was 120 pounds heavier than I am because I put my kids and my business were like everything. And I didn't have any life outside of business and my kids. So now I've really worked on myself. I've lost 120 pounds. I do more of that morning routine. And I do feel like if you can get up and do a morning routine, that can actually set your day off a lot better. And I try to take Sundays off and make that like my family day as well. My husband, I do, because I am married now. We do like Friday night date night, and go do something together. So, and now the kids come over Sunday nights for like family dinner, games, things like that.
That's cool.
Not all the time, but we try.
I mean, I do think that balance is really tough. And I think as you get more and more successful, then you can be, like you said, if you send your assistant out to show them the house, but they want to go under contract, then you'll jump in and do the negotiation. You're obviously not going to go under contract until Monday when you can submit the contract, right? Because
No,
the banks and stuff aren't open.
We do over the weekends. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
You
So
can open escrow, but the banks and stuff aren't available to lock in the rate, right?
no, they're not going to lock in the rate, but you can go under contract on the weekend. So like this weekend, I have some clients that have been working on their credit. They're first time home buyers. I love them. Right. And actually it was me that showed them because I've traveled so much, I need to work more. So I showed him a house on the way to the Bronco game. And my husband's driving, I hotspot right up the offer. And he's like, why are you working on a Sunday? And I'm like, because I'm going to get this house for my clients. So I did do that, but it's like, I can take off. I can be late another day. I can make up for it. Right. So normally I try to not do that, but it's a special thing. And they've been wanting to find a house. They've been working on their credit and stuff the past couple of years. So I really wanted them to get this house. And it had 5 bedrooms for all their kids could have their own bedroom.
That's great. Well,
That's
you can tell
awesome.
Jared I said grudgingly congratulations on the win.
Okay. He
We're
actually
Charger
said,
fans, so you know the
I
orange.
think, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I think he's going to call Bobby because he was like, I think his team lost pretty bad.
Oh, we did. We lost terribly.
Yeah.
But you know, give Bobby a call and give him grief. Hopefully next week we're on a bye week, so we don't even have to watch football this weekend. But the following week, and we'll be in Denver pretty soon. I think we go there. Anyway,
you guys
enough about football.
So June, you had said something and now I lost my train of thought.
Was it about balance and having to actually get it and stuff?
It's okay.
So one thing with that is I always, when I wasn't putting myself as a priority, is I would always think, you know what, if I can't work out, I'll do it at the end of the day or something. That never happens. For me, you have to find out what works for you. For me, if I can get up earlier, get it out of the way in the morning, do like your morning routine. One of the books, Miracle Morning, is really good. And that really helps get balanced and stuff by doing some of that. They even have miracle night routines now.
I remember what my thought was. What you said you'd been working with your clients for a couple of years, getting them either credit repair or getting them out of debt. What can you just tell us a little bit about that? Like how are you helping someone meet the financial goals of a first-time home buying?
Yeah. So first time home buying, I always like to have it's like a buyer 101 kind of meeting. And I provide it free. It doesn't matter who it is, where they're at. I mean, I've even had 18-year-olds come in to learn about buying a house. So that way they can plan for the future and know what to expect. So I do that. And then I match them up with the lender that would best fit their needs. And if they have credit issues, it needs to be a lender that's working with them. Some could be minimal, some could be minor. And there's so many things that you have to look at. Like, do they have collections, or is it something that needs to drop off? Maybe they've had a bankruptcy and they just have to wait 2 years from that date, but they need to be rebuilding credit, you know? And I personally went through Financial Peace University twice and rebuilt my credit. And I went from the bottom up and paid and got things deleted and stuff. It did take me 2 years to rebuild my credit after the short sale. And so I have a passion to help people, but if somebody's not willing to do the work, then it's going to be really hard for them to be able to buy a home.
Yeah. And I mean, financial peace, I don't believe with everything that he says, but I do believe in his debt paying off.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, I think some of those principles that it's Dave Ramsey talks about is they're not necessarily in alignment with me, but I definitely agree with his paying things off. Now the cash, paying everything for cash. I mean, I don't do that because it's so much easier to keep track of it if you use a card. You know, but there's definitely different philosophies out there. But I do believe that his debt paying off, it's a very easy to follow. And I think it works for most people that can be disciplined.
I agree with you, Holly. That maybe 95%, you know what I mean, or 90%. But personally, to keep it simple, it's like have one business card, have one personal card. Be careful that you don't lose track and don't fall for that. Oh, we'll give you $100 to pull a credit card, you know?
Right.
And I do know it's important, like the long term. Like I've had a Capital One credit card that I really don't use, but I've had it for so many years. So every once in a while you use it just to keep that higher credit score, because your credit score does matter. It matters, you know, even getting insurance and stuff. It's important to have a high credit score.
Yeah, for sure. So we've been talking a lot about mindset, and I do agree that a morning routine is super important for success. I mean, not for everyone. There are anomalies to every rule, but I know for me, daily habits make a big difference as well. What have you seen like the biggest shift since you've crossed over that $1 million mark? What do you think your biggest shift has been in your mindset in order to sustain that?
So the biggest shift is how important my time is. and the value of time. So when I first started, that first real estate investor was a multi-millionaire. Actually, he came from the insurance world. And he always told me, because I'd be working so hard, Saturdays I would spend like cleaning the house. And he's like, you know what, instead of doing that, that's like jumping over a quarter to pick up a penny. Your time is valuable. So pay somebody to come clean for a couple hours, go take your kids to do something and be spending family time and stuff. So I always now look at it, that's why I have a team, is yes, I could make more money being on my own with one assistant, but if I can change their lives and if I can provide 5-star service and just delegating, and also my assistant, she moves me because I'm so relational and I talk too much that she moves me, and I listen a lot to my clients, and she moves me meetings to meeting. You know what I mean? I've just became more efficient and tried to use the resources that I have.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And cut out a lot of unnecessary meetings or networking. So one of the questions Allie asked earlier on like events and things in the community, for a long time, my first 10 years, I probably didn't do a lot of networking other than that Northern Colorado Women in Business. And then I started going to too much networking where it's like, it's more for me, it's better. My clients, you know what I mean? Versus you go somewhere where everybody knows 14 realtors, right? So my clients are more the raving fans or cheerleaders. So it's better that I take care of them. So I learned you need to have a balance. Find something that people could tell when you're passionate about something versus like you're just running the motions.
Yeah, for sure. I like the thing you mentioned too, jumping over a quarter to get a penny. I have not heard that one before, but I like that.
That was definitely his saying. I mean, he wanted me to think about the value. And I coach realtors that are in the top 2% in this coaching program I'm in. So I spend a few hours on Wednesdays coaching out-of-state realtors. And it's so hard to get them to hire their first assistant, and it's like, you can double your business. You can provide better quality. Like instead of running ragged or chicken with your head cut off, that you could actually have a better life, you can make a difference in your assistant's life as well as your client.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's so funny because when I first started in business, I was an assistant. I was like not an executive assistant. I was more on the sales side, but I used to always ask the guy who was my boss if he was trying to hold me back. And then I always try to be like the best, not boss, but like whatever leader for my assistants. Allie was one of my assistants prior to coming on board as a full-time agent. And so I just feel like if you can give somebody that gift of showing them how to start a business correctly, then or not even correctly, but that's going to work for them, then I think you're just providing so much value.
I think so.
So we have our lightning question round. This is a fun time for you to give 1 or 2 word answers. Okay. And Allie will be the one that's asking all the questions. And so take it away, Allie. Let's go into our lightning round.
All right, June. So give us 1 word to describe your leadership style.
1 word.
1 word.
I don't want to say demanding, but I expect a lot.
Right. Excellence.
High standards.
That's better than demanding.
All right. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
What's your go-to productivity hack?
Delegation.
Favorite business book or podcast you recommend?
Right now, for the book, it would be Secrets of the Millionaire Mind.
Oh, we know that one very well.
Awesome. I love that book.
What's a money myth you wish would go away forever?
So anyone saying like, I didn't like, because of my culture, or because of being poor, or because of this or that, or their parents didn't teach them, pretty much almost nobody knows about money, right? And so you have to figure out like, can I plug in with somebody like Holly that's at a high level, and you got to find the right people. Like there's financial advisors, like one I went to that you have to be at 150,000 to even talk to him. Or there's another lady that she doesn't care. She's willing to help you starting out, or if you're a millionaire, so finding the right people you can learn from. And you can also read books. You can also ask questions, just align with people you want to learn from. And, if you outgrow somebody, you can find somebody else that can help you keep growing.
Yep.
Awesome. If you could sit down with any woman of wealth from the past, present, and I almost always say future, the past or present, who would it be?
So mine is, I was a foster kid, and 22 years ago, I adopted some parents, totally joking. I'm like, you guys need grandkids. I need parents. So you should adopt me. And they're like, let's have dinner first. Hazel came from a really poor family, and she was a postal worker, and she is a millionaire, and it's because, and they worked just normal jobs. Lee was like a local truck driver. She taught herself and started reading financial magazines and stuff. So with her, I'm constantly learning from her, and we don't agree on everything, but she is like my mentor for money, my first mentor.
Oh, that's awesome.
Sweet.
Well, that concludes our lightning round. Is there anything that we didn't ask that you think would be helpful for our listeners?
Yeah, I just think no matter where you came from, no matter if you were born to rich parents or whatever, because our place that we pretty much grew up in was a burnout trailer, no electricity, no running water. And when I went to foster home, I was a ward of the court, which means you have no parents, like legally. They dropped me off in Greeley, and I had $100 and I had to work 3 jobs. I had to make it. Sometimes you have to sacrifice short-term needs for long-term goals, is probably my number one saying, and I made it. And I feel like if I can make it, anybody can make it, right? And just fill your head with positive things. Like listen to podcasts like Women of Wealth, like find something that aligns with you that you can learn from, and just keep learning, right? And if you want something, read The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind and start making it happen. And instead of saying millionaires,
Right.
right? I think
Yeah.
I just feel like we can grow, and anybody can do it if they really set their mind to it.
Awesome. Well, thank you, June. Thank you so much for being a part of our show. We really appreciate it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And we can touch base offline about football. And also when I'm coming to Greeley for interviewing some insurance agents up there.
I know, and I think you should come for the football game.
Yeah, for sure. I'll talk to Bobby about it.
But I do appreciate, thank you for having me. And it was great, Allie. I haven't met you before. I love your energy and stuff. So I think you guys are like the dynamic duo. And I think that's awesome to have wisdom and our younger generation, just the blend. It's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And where can our listeners find you if they want to, pick your brain or learn more about you or work with you?
So they can either call my office, and my team works 8:30 to 5:30 Monday through Friday. It's 970-573-5791. And that's a landline. I have a cell phone number, but I'm not going to give it out to everybody unless I'm working with somebody. And then also like JuneLemmings.com, June's team on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. We definitely are always open to help people and to share. But I definitely appreciate you guys. And Holly, for anybody listening to this, Holly is a money master. Like she is like a walking, I'm like, I just need to be around her because she has so many great ideas.
I have awesome ideas for myself, but I usually have really great ideas for other people and other businesses. So I'm learning more about how to master my relationships.
Yeah. And I love the thing with you with the whole residual income, because with insurance, with that residual income, it's different than real estate. Residual income would be rental properties, or as a realtor, there's not really residual income unless you're taking awesome care of your clients and they keep using you.
Right. Yeah. That's a whole nother topic we'll have to talk about. Residual income and you. That's going to be our topic for that.
That's a great topic.
Thank you, June.
Thank you. Thanks, Allie, too.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
All right. You too. Bye.